Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Wednesday, September 25th, 2024 board meeting, our action meeting. This board meeting will be held in person at the Carolyn G. Atkinson Intermediate School. The meeting will be live streamed on the district website at www.freeportschools.org. Public comments and participation will be permitted in person at the meeting and via email. Statements and questions should include your full name and address and can be emailed to broberts@freeportschools.org. All questions or statements that are not answered during the meeting will be responded to directly as necessary. And I'd like everyone to know that there are translation devices available in the back should you need them. All right.
Who has them? Where?
Thank you. So if anyone needs them, please grab that. All right, any board announcements? Trustee Richardson?
No announcements. No announcements.
Thank you. VP Jackson?
No announcements.
I do want to engage the board, and just so we have on the document to discuss where our meeting location will be. And so as board president, I am recommending that all of our meetings take place at Atkinson School. And then if we need be, particularly for our top 10 students, will be at the high school. But all of our meetings, I'm recommending be held in one place, Atkinson, going forward. So I would like to hear any comments from board members. We do have 2 board members who will be here, and they will have the opportunity to share their thoughts also. So, any comments? VP Jackson?
I would just say that I think it's important when we're visiting each school, there's just like something special about that. So if we are making one place the designated meeting location for consistency, I can see the benefit of that, but I also think it is important that we do go out to the schools that we have here, and also for families to see us in the school that their child is attending. And so that's where I'm at there. And I also think it's important to be mindful that the calendar that was released does have those meeting dates for the entire year, and that's what people are currently expecting. So it's really important what our communication looks like around that moving forward.
Thank you, VP Jackson. Trustee Richardson?
In regards to us having one location, I'm okay with the one location. I think that with the calendar being what it is, as VP Jackson just mentioned, all things are subject to change at times. With that being said, I think that each school has enough events for us to be able to attend as board members to support those schools over the course of the year. But I think when it's regarding us having a location that's a steady place, it allows for us to be in a place to be able to do the business that's necessary on a regular basis in one location, because it's about the business. It's not necessarily about all of the extracurricular stuff that goes on, but that's a big part. But we need to make sure that it's a place where we can all get to in a way that we can not have an issue of trying to make it to all the other locations, but still support the other locations in every way, so everybody feels that they're being seen and being supported. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would like to add and as I am the one who's recommending this, and it's really because this is the board's meeting in public, but the reverse isn't true. It's not the public's meeting. It is our meeting done in public. And there is a difference. And I do believe that as the superintendent, as the CEO and person who runs the district, then I think that that's the role of, she wears sneakers, she gets around, and everyone goes places. And we will always bring students here or teachers here and recognize teams at the board meeting. But I do think we are one, when you look at all the local districts, all of them have one place that they meet throughout the entire year. And you can look that up with Freeport, Roosevelt, Westbury, Valley Stream, Lynbrook. We can keep going, Baldwin, Belmore, Merrick. All of them have one meeting location, and then they can move if they'd like to. So with the calendar being done, the great thing is we can always be flexible, and the board with 24 hours can then, of course, say any meeting change as long as we post it. But we will, of course, look to include everyone in everything that we do, and we will also venture out to the schools to support you. But our role is really we hire the superintendent, it's fiduciary responsibilities, and also policy making. That is the role of the board. And so we have a lot of work to do, and we have a new superintendent, which we're so excited to do the work with. But in terms of whose role is whose, I'd like to be very clear what our role is and what it's not. But we will always support students, faculty, family, and staff. So thank you. At this time, I'm turning it over to Ms. Davis for her report.
Good evening, everyone. So I want to, I'm excited. I want to bring Principal Kelly Fairclaw, Principal of Bayview Avenue School. And absolutely, we can applaud. And I understand we have some special guests tonight.
Yes, you
and
do.
so the mic is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, President Coward, Board of Education trustees. Good evening, Superintendent Davis and the Administrative Cabinet. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you our former third grade NISMA Gold recipient, currently our fourth grade chorus student, as they present to you, "We're Coming Back," under the directions of Mrs. Leal and Mrs. Pacente. Please give them a warm welcome.
Board members, if you want to take the first row so that we can see the performance.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Freeport Board of Education meeting. And welcome to a brand new school year. Tonight, it gives us great pleasure to welcome the members of the Freeport Board of Education.
Sunday F. Coward, President. Sharon U. Jackson, Vice President. Maria Jordan Awalam, Trustee. Sonia A. Dixon, Trustee. And Scott A. Richardson, Trustee.
We are also privileged to be in the presence of our dedicated central office administrators. They are
Ms. Fia Davis, Superintendent of Schools. Mr. Benjamin Roberts, Assistant Superintendent for Personnel and Special Projects. Ms. Gloria Engel, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instructions. Dr. Helen Kanelopoulos, Assistant Superintendent for Educational and Administrative Services. Ido Ongundipe, Assistant Superintendent for Business, and Dr. Garvin Romaine, Assistant Superintendent for Pupil Personnel Services and Special Education.
Before you get to the business at hand, we would like to give you a very special welcome. Here is a musical treat that shows how excited we are to begin a new school year. So sit back and relax as we, the former Bayview Balladeers, entertain you with the performance of We're Coming Back. Enjoy!
We hope you enjoyed our performance. Although we're celebrating the beginning of a new school year, we hope throughout the year you remember that any day can bring a new beginning. May each day of this school year bring you excitement, positive thoughts, and joy. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you for that wonderful performance from Bayview, our superstars. Parents, you are welcome to join your children as they walk out, or you can stay here and stay for the rest of our meeting. Either way you choose it, we welcome you and thank you also for being here and having your students with us.
It is a
back
school
over.
night.
Yes.
If you have to get your babies to bed, we understand. This is your moment if you want to do that. Thank you, President Coward. So thank you again, everyone who came out to support the students. Thank you for everyone who came, who is in attendance virtually and in person. I want to begin my superintendent's report by talking about safety, which is at the forefront for all of us. I want to share with you the incidents that have happened in our district. As you may have seen the news, there are national issues at hand, and there have been threats and issues across Long Island, but also across our country. So we have had several non-credible threats made to both Freeport High School and Dodd Middle School in the past 2 weeks. The district followed all protocols, working alongside Freeport Police, Nassau County Police, and Homeland Security. The safety and security of our students is our #1 priority. At Dodd, we've had 2 holds in place on Wednesday, September 18th, and Thursday, September 23rd at 3:30 p.m. At Freeport High School, there have been 3 holds in place. Monday, September 5th, for a medical emergency. A student had a seizure and we called an ambulance. Wednesday, September 18th, the reason was a swatting call. Someone called PD and told them we had an active shooter in the building. And Thursday, September 19th, the reason was we had a medical emergency and another student, there was a seizure and we called an ambulance. Parents, what I want you to understand is, in collaboration with our team, Freeport Police, Nassau County Police, and Homeland Security, we are taking every opportunity to make sure that our students are safe at school every day. One of the things that we learned is that we have to do a better job at our communication with all of you. So it's one thing to inform you of incidents that happen via our Parent Square app, also the correspondence and the letters that I've sent out following every major incident, but it's also important that we get better at communicating with you about when is a moment for you to come and pick your children up and when you should not, because these are non-credible threats. What I've also learned is that if ever, and God forbid, if ever there is a credible threat, we also have to inform you of that and inform you of our plan and protocol for reunification and safe reunification with your children. So please know that it is our first priority to keep our babies safe. I claim every last one of them as superintendent. I can tell you that our principals and my assistant superintendents and all of our leaders in our district take this very seriously. I'm not sure what's going on in the world that someone somewhere thinks that this is humorous, but Homeland Security and PD have assured me that they are taking every measure to attempt to find the culprits so that they can be held accountable for this. So communication. As a new superintendent, I am really on a listening and learning tour of Freeport Public Schools, and I am a student of our district. So I have been holding meetings, talking and learning. I've held a meeting with our parent leaders. I've held a meeting with community leaders, including elected officials, who have come out to really commit to collaborating for the present and future of public schools. I want to share with you that this Friday we will host our first home game for our football team. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready. And we're also going to host our first Swag Friday in Freeport. This is a day that I have designated as a day to rep your Freeport pride and swag. So our schools will represent the schools. As a district leader, I'll represent Freeport Public Schools. I invite you parents to join us if you have Freeport swag, to please join us in wearing it and come out to our football game. I believe our game is at 6 p.m. 6:30, pardon me. Our game is at 6:30, but we're gonna have us a good time, and there may even be a little swag surfing at this game in our Freeport swag. If you know, you know. All right? Following the game, the next morning on Saturday will be the 10th annual Peace Walk on Saturday, September 28th. In observance of International Day of Peace and International Day of Nonviolence, there will be a peace walk that will begin at 8:30 a.m. at Giblin School. Please join us. All are welcome, and I understand our elected officials will join us there as well. The district-wide peace concert will be held next month on October 9th. Upcoming events: Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month began on September 15th and goes through October 15th. You will see acknowledgments, celebrations, cultural events throughout our schools this month, in the next month. Our schools will be closed next week, Thursday, October 3rd and Friday, October 4th, in observance of Rosh Hashanah. And our homecoming will be held on Saturday, October 19th. Some sports updates. Congratulations to seniors Luca Noboa for being selected to Newsday's Top 100 Boys Soccer Players list, and John Carlos Rivera for being selected to Newsday's Top 50 Boys Volleyball Players list. Yes. Congratulations to our varsity football team and Coach Jimmy Jones on their first win of the season, 40-0 against Valley Stream Central on Saturday. Ew, let's go. And as I shared, our first game is this Friday, the 27th at 6:30. Freeport High School will play Hicksville, and it's also neon glow in the dark night. And so we're gonna have us a time and really have a good time at this game. Last thing connected to sports, as we are talking about and we presented about our plan to restore and rebuild our field and have a new field installed, we're also going to add long jump pits. What was brought to our attention by our coach is that we don't have long jump pits, which means we're unable to hold track meets here at Freeport High School. And so we want to make sure that we're equipped to be competitive so that everybody can come here and we can beat them. I said what I said. Okay, I'm very excited about my next announcement. I am pleased to recommend Mr. Chris Porciello for appointment tonight as the Dodd Middle School principal. Okay, Dodd! Okay, Dodd! Y'all didn't let me talk nice about him yet. They didn't even let me finish saying nice things about him yet. I had a whole thing planned here before the applause. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading it anyway. All right. Mr. Porciello was an assistant principal at John W. Dodd Middle School for the past 4 years. He supported the building goals and mission of the building principal. Mr. Porciello has demonstrated commitment to student learning, and students appreciate his compassionate and occasionally humorous way of speaking to assist them through their various middle school experiences. As his predecessor, Ms. Johanny Ligon said, 2 words can describe Mr. Porciello's leadership skills: collaboration and communication. Throughout his tenure as assistant principal, Mr. Porciello strives every day to ensure decisions that are made on behalf of students, teachers, or parents are done so with care and in a collaborative way. During the past few weeks in serving as the interim principal, Mr. Porciello has far exceeded all expectations in successfully opening the school year at Dodd and has seamlessly stepped into the role, earning the respect and support of Dodd faculty and staff, students and families at Dodd. Congratulations, Mr. Porciello. We are happy to have you.
Thank you for that. I promise you, I want to be a cheerleader after sitting here. I'm like, let's go. I can't do a somersault, but anyway, that's a story for another time. At this point, questions and comments from the public. Mr. Roberts, do we have any? Or how many do we have?
I have none electronically. I have no questions or comments at this point on agenda items.
Thank you. We'll continue on for the items of action, and I do want to just say my board colleagues, Trustee Jordan Wallam and Trustee Dixon came in, and we had a brief discussion around where we're meeting, and so on the motion, when we get to it, we'll allow them for their public comments too. Alrighty, so VP Jackson, item 6.1.
6.1 consent agenda items. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Freeport Union Free School District hereby approves the following items: 6.2, 6.3, and 6.4.
May I have a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Yep. Trustee Jordan Wallam, 7.1.
7.1, Personnel, Appointment of an Administrator. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Freeport Union Free School District, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, hereby appoints Christopher Porciello to the position of principal, replacing Jay Lagonde, as a probationary employee effective September 26, 2024, with an anticipated tenure date of August 29, 2027.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Can't shout it out from the stage. Aye. Motion carries. Congratulations. Congratulations, Principal Porcelli.
Come on, Principal. Principal Pete.
Trustee Richardson, 7.2.
7.2, education, approval of consultants.
May I have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposes? Abstentions? Motion carries. 7.3, before I read it, we have changed the name to Maria Jordan Awalum and removed mine. Just say,
If you could just make a motion to amend the agenda, and then we can get a second, and then we can move forward with the new name.
that didn't come out my mouth. I'll make a motion to amend the agenda. Thank you, Assistant Sue Roberts. To amend this motion and remove my name and put Maria Jordan Awalum in its place. May I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Trustee Richardson, is it you? Trustee Dixon? Who just read? Trustee Dixon.
So 7.3, education nomination of voting delegate. Be resolved that the Board of Education of the Freeport Union Free School District hereby nominates Maria Jordan Awabalan as the voting delegate for the New York State School Board on October 10th, 2024, an annual business meeting representing Freeport Union Freeport School District.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. VP Jackson, 7.4.
7.4, approval of agreement.
May I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 7.5. May I have a discussion, but I need a motion first on 7.5.
7.5, education adoption of amendment of Board of Ed calendars 2024, 2025.
On the motion for discussion.
Thank you. Would like to get the comments from Trustee Jordan Awalum and Trustee Dixon at this time, as the other three of us have expressed ours earlier. Trustee Jordan Awalum?
I appreciate attending other buildings, other school buildings, and seeing our students perform. I know that we saw them perform here, but I think being that the calendar is out and maybe next year this is something we should revisit. But I do appreciate visiting other school buildings and getting out of this atmosphere all the time. So, and giving Atkinson a break sometimes too.
Thank you. Trustee Dixon?
For me, I think meeting in one place is fine, and we can always celebrate the children in different units when they have an event. I'm sure we are always welcome, and I would rather stay in one place.
Alrighty, thank you. 7.5, VP Jackson. .5, Trustee Richardson.
7.5, education, adoption of amended Board of Education meeting calendar 2024, 2025.
All those in favor? Opposed?
Oppose.
Oppose.
Abstentions? I vote yes. Motion carries. 7.6, VP Jackson. No, I'm going this way. Yep, I'm going back. 'Cause that was
7.6, finance, acceptance of a donation, Prince Brass repairs.
second.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. 7.7, Trustee Jordan Awalum.
7.7, finance acceptance of donation, Cradle of Aviation Museum. Be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Freeport Union Free School District, in accordance with district policy, hereby accepts the donations of 70 backpacks and 209 Stop and Shop gift cards provided by the Cradle of Aviation for the students and families of the Freeport Public Schools. The total market value of the backpacks donation is $699, and the total market value of the Stop and Shop gift cards donation is $1,045.
May I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you for the donation. you. 7.8, Trustee Richardson.
7.8, finance, acceptance of donation, always compassionate. Be it resolved, the Board of Education of Freeport Union Free School District, in accordance with the district policy, hereby accept the donation of 20 pairs of sweatpants in various sizes, values of approximately $140, donated by Always Compassionate. This donation is greatly appreciated. We thank you.
All those in favor? Can I get a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you for the donation of the sweatpants and everything else. 7.9, finance, Trustee Dixon.
7.9, finance approval of budget transfers. Be resolved that the Board of Education of the Freeport Union Free School District hereby approves the budget transfer over $25,000 within the general fund for September 2024.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. We have one question. So I'm going to read the one question we had received electronically. Good evening, Freeport School Board. I hope this correspondence finds you well. I have a few questions for tonight's board meeting. My name is Ebony Russell, 29 President Street, Freeport, New York, 11520. In light of the recent bomb threats, is there an organized reunification plan for families if the school needs to be evacuated? For context, she writes, the evacuation from Dodd took an extremely long time for families to be contacted and reunified orderly, as there was a delay in communication and guidance. Number two, is there an update from the police or the school board as to where these threats are originating? Thank you for taking the time to answer my concerns, and be well. Ms. Davis, yes.
Thank you for your question. Is it Ms. Nixon? Yes. Thank you, Ms. Nixon, for your question. So, first part, when there is an emergency, so that you all understand policy and procedure. For us, the first line of communication is with PD, so that we are making sure that they are coming and rushing to our assistance. The second is to then make sure that we have mobilized the emergency response team at the school, so that we are gathering to make sure that there is a plan. Principals become incident commanders immediately. The last part is then to communicate with parents via our parent square. Information goes out about a threat that comes to school. When we had our first incident at Dodd, what I talked about earlier tonight is making sure that we communicate clearly with all of you, because there was a miscommunication about if you wanted to pick up your children, here was the location. Because of our support from PD, we moved the location, the reunification location, during the incident, which created some confusion. Parents, here's what I want you to understand. One, we own that we will be better at communicating with you. Two, in the event that there is an emergency and we have to enact a reunification plan, we are not just giving children casually back. We have to make sure that we identify the child, the parent, credential who this person is. If it is not the parent, make sure that it is someone on a blue card, document that we are releasing them, and then release children. So this has to be done orderly. It is not fast. It is not casual, because it is our prized possession, our children. And so that is why it took long. But when we have emergencies, once we follow our protocol, then we communicate via Parent Square. And so our communication when the Dodd incident happened was not delayed. What was a delay and what did take long was our reunification process. And we're committed to getting better at that. Principal Porciello already has a plan for that. And I've already committed to our parent leaders that we will be better and clearer with our communication in the event that reunification is necessary. However, when we send out a notification that there is a threat, We will inform you if you need to come and pick up your children. If there is not a need, we will not ask you to come and pick them up, because what happens is you slow down the necessary authorities for clearing, checking school, and making sure that there is not a credible threat. And so our work is to communicate clearly with you. What I request of all of you is to understand that we have to be methodical and deliberate in the event that there is a reunification that is necessary. This is not about I'm going to grab my baby and pull them off a line and go. We cannot do that because we have to make sure when you give them to us, there are hours for that school day. And we have to make sure that there is documentation. And parents, I would also add, let's say you're far away, you send your sister who's close, but your sister is not on your blue card. We are not giving your sister your baby because we can't prove that it is your sister or your good friend or your neighbor. This is very serious. We will follow protocol and make sure that we are giving children to the right people, because God forbid we gave a child and to the wrong person, or we were casual about our process and something bad happened. But safety is our first priority. Our work as a district is to make sure that we get better at how we communicate with you, so that in the event if reunification happens again, we will make sure that it's done well and as efficiently as possible. Principal Porciello, did you want to add?
Thank you, Ms. Davis, Board of Ed, and thank you for the question at home online. In education, it is our responsibility to reflect on a daily basis. And as a result of the incident that did take place at Dodd Middle School, we have reflected, and we do have a plan in place. And to echo the sentiments of our superintendent of schools, our communication will be crystal clear in a timely manner. And if and when reunification is necessary, we will clearly communicate where and when and the proper procedures. Once again, I want to say, I know that in the community that there was a lot of upset because of how long it took. I would not release any child to someone that was not on an emergency card. That is our responsibility as a district and as a school. But we do promise that in the event of an emergency ever were to take place, especially at Dodd Middle School, we have a plan and we will communicate better. So with that, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to say that. And I look forward to comment. If anyone has any questions or concerns, I'm here. I'm not going, I'll be here more than happy to answer your questions. So once again, I want to say thank you. And I also want to say thank you for entrusting Dodd Middle School to myself and to my fellow administrators and to my wonderful staff that showed this evening. So with that, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you all.
Thank you. And the last thing I would say, parents, about the question is, we apologize for any stress it caused, any angst, any confusion. I can only imagine how it felt. I know that children were communicating via text and maybe causing even more angst because everybody's getting to go home. And I want to say shout out to the mom who heard that school was safe and didn't take her baby. Crushed his whole soul. She made him stay at school. He thought she was there to pick him up and then said, oh, my mom heard that everything's fine. I'm not leaving. He was brokenhearted, but I appreciate her. I appreciate her. But I apologize sincerely for any stress that caused. But please know that we take it very seriously and we are in this together. And I ask that you show us grace in that moment. But we are learning and committed to getting better, as you heard Principal Porciello say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davis. At this point, are there any board comments? VP Jackson?
Just want to say congratulations again to Principal Pete. Really excited for what is next on your journey and where Dodd Middle School will go. And thank you to everyone that came out tonight for the questions and being here to support the work we do as we embark on this school year together. So thank you.
Trustee Jordan Awalum, I apologize.
Same, congratulations to Mr. P, really excited. And just really quickly, I was running late because I sit on Nassau County Police Commissioner Riders Council. So we did have a meeting, and of course, the main topic being all these threats. So they did a comparison, which I'm a parent, and my child attends the high school as well. So they did a comparison from last year up to now. They had about 20, threats for the entire school year, and this year they've had about 80. So it's very, very scary. They know they're not credible threats. They're coming in through blocked IP addresses and a hotline that is usually used for suicide hotline, so that's why they can't be traced. But it's not only Freeport, it's happening everywhere. And I know that doesn't make a difference because, again, our students are here and our children are here. So, but I do want to thank our cabinet and our district for, making sure that our kids and our staff were safe. It's a scary situation. Kellenberg had 3, and it's very scary for our students. They're seeing the police officers coming in, checking the school buildings, but I think we just have to speak to our children, let them know that if they see something, say something, if they read something on social media, say something. We do have anonymous alerts on our school district, so that's also important. If you see something, somebody's watching it all the time, so that's also important. If the kids are seeing it on TikTok or whatever, I think that's where the last one was on TikTok. Make an anonymous alert. Say our child saw this on a Friday night or a Saturday night, so they're not going through that anxiety for the whole weekend. But it is stressful, and I think we just have to work together on this, and definitely communication is key. So thank you to our superintendent for that. That's it.
Thank you. Trustee Richardson, any comments?
Yes, congratulations, Mr. P. Mr. P. I've seen your work, so I'm just very happy for you. I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight, the Dodge staff and everyone else that came out tonight. With any concerns that you may have, I want to thank the cabinet. I want to thank all the administrative staff at Dodd and Freeport High School for how they handled the threats. It was amazing how you were able to keep it calm, but also follow our program and evacuation procedure that we have. It's not easy. We thank you for taking the time and really thinking about the children and the parents as a whole and making sure you safeguard everyone before you release them to anyone. We want to also thank the PD, Homeland Security, and Nassau County Police Departments, and our community as a whole. We're a village that stands together, so we just always have to make sure that we, as Superintendent Davis said, show grace and support one another, because our best interests are the children and the staff. So if we all are on the same page and have the same focus, we can't go wrong, but we just have to work together. It doesn't always happen in the way we want it to, but as long as it happens safely and efficiently, it will happen in the way that we have to do it. So I thank you all for coming out again tonight. And Mr. P, do your thing. Thank you.
You're going to do a lot, Mr. P. Huh? Trustee Dixon.
So, first off, congratulations, Mr. Perciello. It's been a pleasure working with you, knowing you. You're an amazing guy. So congrats. And second, I will just say that as far as these threats, we have to take them seriously. And thank God they're just false alarms. But I hope, and I really hope and pray, that whoever is causing this mess, because it causes so much distress in the community, they will find them and hold them accountable. I too thank the police, the PD, for the great support they do for us. And thank you so much, Superintendent Davis. Thank you.
Thank you. I just would like to say thank you to everyone here, all the staff. This has not been an easy time, and when you hear it or get the text like there's been another one, you just feel for the people in the schools, the students, the parents, the families. Even if my child's not in the school, I still feel for every child in there and the parents who are running to the school. And it's a natural reaction. What I do want to say is that afterwards on that Friday, the first time at the high school, there was a debriefing done. And so as a board, we receive information on what went right, what went wrong, and who's assigned to making it right. So there isn't, we'll talk about it later. It is, we will continue to talk about it and keep changing and doing what we need to do to make sure we are doing what we're supposed to protect everyone. So congratulations, and thank you for everyone who's given their feedback, right? Because your voice is very important as an employee of this district and as a parent with students here, and also the student voice. So I would like to say thank you. Mr. Roberts, do we have, of course we have people we have to give pins to. So
We do, Madam President. If I could ask Ms. Davis and Mr. Coward, if you could join me to the right. Gives me great pleasure to welcome some of our new Freeport staff members, part of our family. We're going to welcome them with a commemorative pin here at Freeport. First up is Lisa Polanco, special education teacher, Freeport High School. And not a new employee, but I'd be remiss if we didn't welcome up Mr. Chris Porciello, principal of Dodd Middle School. Congratulations to both of our new hires.
how priceless that was. So sweet. All righty. Superintendent, any comments?
The only comment, one I'm excited about, I'll leave you with. Our principals learned this. I talked with our safety committee about this. I understand historically students were not allowed to dress up in celebration of Halloween. However, I believe in focusing on joy. And there will be parameters, principals will explain guidelines, but everyone, I'd like to see all of my principals, our administrative cabinet, we're going to be dressed up to celebrate the holiday, but we're gonna make sure that it is safe. And so our children are more than welcome to dress up for Halloween as long as they follow the guidelines that they will be, all of you will learn about from their principals. And so just wanted to tell you that because I know things sell out. And so if you wanna make a costume, if you wanna go and get one, you have over a month to figure it out. That's it for me. Thank you, everyone.
And spreading the joy, this meeting has come to an end. May I have a motion? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night.